What up, Dokoners? On the last video, I talked about the look ahead to the 2022 Dokkan Festival schedule for Global, basically just reviewing everything that JP has gone through. But what I did not talk about was some of the stuff that JP has experienced, but Global has yet to experience, and this has definitely been a topic of conversation that a lot of you guys have been continuing in my comments and in my chats and all of that. And that is, of course, the whereabouts of the LR JANEMBA. This guy was supposed to have released during the Gogeta campaign if things were to have been followed like the JP version, and we haven't seen him. So the LR JANEMBA is still in question, but in today's video I want to talk about how it could possibly be that maybe this LR JANEMBA could be showing up in the next week or two for Global. So we're going to talk about that. This is obviously speculation. There's no right or wrong answer here since Global Dokkan has clearly proven that they are all over the place. They're very unpredictable. Anything you say could be completely wrong in a week or two. So let's just see and dive in here. Let's just start by going through a bunch of different campaigns to kind of set up the windows and the duration. Right now on Global, we are currently in the Happy New Year celebration. We've got the Dokkan Festival Step Up going on, the best banner in Dokkan history. I'm sure a lot of you are still working on this, so that will be continuing until the end of the month. This is a full month that you're able to summon on this banner with all of its step-ups and savings. So there's that, and then we also have the Super Vegeta Dokkan Festival that also is essentially going for a month. So for this entire month until the end of January, you will still have these banners active, and there's currently a pretty hefty banner rotation going on Global. With, if you want to include the World Tournaments banners, I guess it's fair to do that. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 banners active. Obviously, these 3 will be going away in a little bit, but the next set of banners to go away would be the Peppy Gals and the Rising Dragon in 10 days, which means there's potentially going to be some overlap if my theory were to come to pass. So it's not the most absurd concept to understand that we can have a ton of banners available at the same time. It's not happening all the time on Global Dokkan, but there is the occasional little interval where this kind of thing can happen, because it's kind of inevitable when you think about how wishy-washy Global can be in terms of its scheduling, the way that they mix things up. It can be very unpredictable. So if we were to remove these 3 banners in a couple of days, this would be around the time that the version Z start campaign actually kicks off. So with these 3 banners going away, we could potentially see a couple other banners fill that spot. So now let's go through some of the older campaigns on the JP side to get a feel for this. So the JANEMBA first debuted on the Gogeta campaign on JP back in July. This was during the Tanabata celebration. So they first had the Gogeta summons from June 30th until the 20th of July. And then soon after, they had the Tanabata campaign with the return of the 6-year LRs and the Gogeta coming back. This led to a lot of confusion on the Global side because people thought that something like this would also happen on Global, and it didn't quite pan out that way. But during that, in the Part 2 segment of that celebration, that is when they received the LR JANEMBA along with the World Tournament, Chain Battle, and all of that stuff. So this banner has yet to arrive on Global, but as you can see here, there's about a 2-week window. So from July until August, that's about 2 weeks, so keep that in the back of your mind. Then going into the Super Vegeta Dokkan Festival campaign, which happened right after the Gogeta one, they obviously had the Super Gogeta Dokkan Fest in Part 1. And then if we scroll down here into Part 2, that is when the Peppy Gals Extreme Z Battle happened, the Rising Dragon Carnival banner happened, and an Extreme Z Legendary Summon banner happened at the exact same time for the exact same duration, from the 12th until the 28th. So for a 2-week span, we had the arrival of the LR Majin Vegeta banner and subsequent Extreme Z Battle. So these are the 2 monumental LRs that people are asking questions about, especially since Global is currently in the middle of the Vegeta Dokkan Festival campaign. Could we also see the Majin Vegeta at some point? Because not only are we missing Majin Vegeta, but we're also missing the Trunks EZA. Isn't that also here? The Trunks EZA, yep. The Trunks EZA, so that means the Super Trunks Physical and STR are both also on the shelf in limbo. So there could be a plausible situation where all of these units were to show up during the next campaign on Global, and here's why. Looking back at the JP start of version Z campaign, this happened in November 17th until December 9th. We can actually use this to kind of simulate the Global side. Let's say this starts on the 17th of January, which it actually is, and it goes until the 9th of February. So that gives us a 3-week window, aka basically the duration of a typical Dokkan Festival celebration, which is 3 weeks. And during that 3-week window, we could see some banners. On the original Version Z campaign on JP, there was no noteworthy banner that came out along with the Version Z campaign because it was kind of happening along the same time as some of the other campaigns. During this Version Z campaign, JP was on the back end of the AGL Trunks Dokkan Festival, which ended about a week after Version Z started. And then it was then in the middle of the simultaneous Dragon Ball Heroes banner, which also contained two, the EZA banner and the regular new Dokkan, or not Dokkan Festival, but the new Dragon Ball Heroes crossover summons. So these two occupied 2 weeks, and they basically held out on the rest of the celebration. So the first week was taken up by the previous Dokkan Fest, and then the last 2 weeks were taken up by the crossover campaign. That fills out the 3-week window. So with all of that said, and with the fact that there is no noteworthy banner that is featured here, here's what could possibly happen for Global. Given that the JANEMBA banner occupies 2 weeks, and since this is a 3-week interval, what they could do is at the start of the celebration on Global, we could kick this off with all of the Version Z festivities, as well as the LR JANEMBA banner. That's 2 out of the 3 weeks now occupied. On the second week of the JANEMBA's existence, or the banner's existence, what they could do is then throw in the second half of the Super Vegeta Dokkan Festival on JP and give us the LR Majin Vegeta and the EZAs that are involved in that, the Extreme Z Legendary banner and the Super Trunks. It could happen this way, or it could be vice versa. Maybe they start with the Majin Vegeta to kick off the Version Z, and then they end it with the Legendary Summon for JANEMBA. So that way you have 2 separate 2-week banners that could coincide at 1 week in the middle, and then they can both act as bookends to the celebration. So that could be one plausible way that they do this. Of course, it is Global Dokkan. They are known to be a little bit crazy, a little bit unpredictable. So the chances of this happening, I guess, are still anybody's guess. But I feel like that is probably the most conceivable way that they could give us these 2 banners in a relatively timely fashion. Because no matter what they do, especially if they were to not bring in this Majin Vegeta and the Super Trunks stuff, if they don't bring this in somewhat close to the Super Vegeta Dokkan Festival, it's going to be out of place. It's going to be, wherever it's placed in the future, it's going to be nonsensical, and it's going to be the root for a lot of the global jabs that players like to make. So I feel like this is probably the best, and I'm very proud of myself for thinking of this. So hopefully you guys agree, disagree. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, because I want to know, am I onto something here, or am I just making stuff up? Because your boy is working out a little bit in the Dokkan world, and I want to see if those workouts are starting to pay off. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments how close I am to possibly nailing this this JANEMBA release situation. Do you think I'm onto something? Is this complete and utter nonsense? Did you understand anything that I said, or am I insane? Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below, and don't be afraid to give me your thoughts as well on where you could potentially see this LR JANEMBA showing up. There's no wrong answer. Global Dokkan, since it's so unpredictable, it's actually kind of fun to just speculate, because you're not committing a crime for being wrong, because 90% of the people are. So let me know. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.